everyone, it's me, Raven Jade, coming to you with another Entropia Universe video. Today's video is going to be all about how to make money in this vast, beautiful universe. I did one of these videos a few years back, probably around 2016, and it was one of my very most popular videos. However, I feel that it's time to update my advice since it's now 2020 and some things have changed since the previous video, or I've changed my way of thinking on some particular points. So, to begin, Entropia is a very fun but challenging game, and you could quickly lose all of your money if you don't know what you are doing. So I'm hoping that this list will help give you some ideas on how to earn money while playing. Some ways will be completely free with just a time investment, while others will be requiring of some money invested to turn a profit. So let's start off with the free ways, shall we? Number 1, sweating. Oh yeah, sweating. Doesn't that sound so exciting? Yeah, I didn't think so. If you are new to Entropia and you don't want to deposit, many people will tell you to go sweat some mobs to earn your ped to fund your gameplay. In fact, the game does sometimes advertise as free to play, so this is how they give you that free to play. And while it's true that you can earn money from sweating, it will take you quite a long time to earn a decent amount of ped to really have some fun with. So sweat these days goes for about 1 ped per 1,000 bottles of sweat, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. The amount of time you will need to invest to get enough sweat to sell is substantial, and really, you would be far better working in a real-life minimum wage job for a couple of hours a week and depositing that money to play instead of just standing around being bored sweating a mob. Number 2, you can go fruit, stone, or dung walking. Fruits are highly needed to make neutrino bars. Neutrino bars are needed to feed all of the pets in the game, so there is a good demand for these. What you need to do is have a keen eye and go walking around any planet in Entropia and just be on the lookout for fruit. If you see it on the ground, you won't be able to miss it. Fruit does sell for more than sweat, but I'm not quite sure what the going rate is these days. Stones are found on the ground as well, though not as valuable as fruit. And of course, while you're out walking around, look out for the dung. Don't step in it. Yuck. Just pick it up. Dung is also needed for the land area owners to make fertilizer. So number 3, you can also get a job in game. Yep, you heard me. You can get a job. Yes, you can. Though I'm not sure I would want to get a job inside a video game. I'd rather just play it than go walking or working for the man. Possible jobs could be finding a land area owner that is looking for someone to spam their events in game. Or another idea would be offering a healing service. Of course, if you go the healing service route, there would be some investment in buying the FAP, so not entirely free to start. Number 4, since we are now getting into it takes money to make money phase, let's move on to this very important number. Trading is number 4. There are a lot of people in Entropia that earn their living through trading, or as some like to call it, reselling. The idea behind this is to buy low and sell at a higher cost. One way to do this is to offer to buy people's hunting loot that they were just going to put in the trade terminal anyway. And if you don't know what a trade terminal is, all loot in the game is assigned a trade terminal value. That is the base pay. And if you can't find anybody to buy your goods, you can always take it to the trade terminal and get a base amount that way. Some exclusions would be bottles of sweat, they're worth 0. Stones are worth 0. Things like that. So not everything has a trade terminal value. So if you offer them a TT, which is trade terminal, plus a little extra for their time, You may be able to find some hunters or even miners that will sell you their loot directly to you. Once you have some big enough stacks, you can sell them in the game, auction, or in the trading channels, or you can make some crafter friends that will pay you some markup for the goods that they need. It may take some time and experience to figure out which items will be more in demand than others, but you could be well on your way to starting a trading business in the game if you have patience and have good math skills. Number 5 is very similar to the idea of trading or reselling, but it is a little different. If you watch the trends on certain items, you could make a nice profit if you have the bankroll to buy up materials when they take a dip in their prices, holding on to them and throwing them in storage until the price goes back up on the item. One of the best ways to do this is when an event happens. Find out what that event mob is dropping, besides our ever favorite shrapnel. Nope, the sarcasm in my voice there. When events happen, any items or material that mob loots will bring the supply way up, and if it had any markup on it, you're going to see that markup crash. Normally after the event happens, those markups will slowly start to go back up after the supply dries up. But you just have to know when to begin selling again, and again have the bankroll for you to be able to sit on merchandise for maybe weeks or even months at a time. Patience is very key here and can pay off for you big time. Number 6, you can take that whole buy low, sell high one more step further and invest in a shop or a booth or more throughout the Entropia Universe. I myself own several shops, and while I don't really do a whole lot of the reselling aspect, what I do use my shops for is a place to sell my hunting loot or my mining loot, or any items that I might have crafted. I look at it as I would be saving money over time on auction fees, and stuff that I may have just stuck in storage gathering dust is now for sale in a shop. Again, it's another one of those scenarios where you have to be patient and can afford to sit on things and wait for them to sell. My shops in particular, or for example, go through waves of sales. One day I may not get any sales at all, and the next day I might get like 20. But being a shop owner in Entropia Universe is one of my most favorite things that I have ever done. So if you have the money to invest, consider buying a shop. If you change your mind later, you can always put the shop back up on the market. There's usually a pretty steady demand for shops, so it should be fairly easy to sell if and when the time comes for you to sell. Also, in my experience, the value of shops can go up over time. So depending on how long you've had your shop for, you may be able to sell it for higher than you originally bought it for. So your mileage may vary on this advice, as nothing is ever guaranteed in life and in Entropia. Number 7. If you have a lot of money to invest, you could also try your hand at being a land area owner. Land area owners are responsible for the mobs on their LAs and can make events to drive their hunters and their miners to their lands to hunt and mine. Really active land area owners can get a lot of activity on their lands. How they make their money is through taxing their land areas. So it's always a very good idea for you as a hunter or a miner to check what the tax is as you enter any land area. The higher the tax, the more of your money is going to go to the land area owner's pocket. Fortunately, a lot of the active land areas are competing for your business, so it's in their best interest to keep those taxes low and competitive with all the other LA owners that are also setting their taxes. That brings me to number 8, and it also involves land areas. As I mentioned in number 7, land area owners will want to entice you to come to their land areas to either hunt or mine. So oftentimes they will have ongoing events on their land areas. Usually giving out ped, but a lot of times they will offer prizes and valuable items as well. You can make money from these events if you meet all of the criteria of the event. Now, I must issue a word of caution here. You winning an event is not a guarantee, so you also have to consider the time and ped investment from yourself to compete. How much pet is it going to cost for you to compete for a whole month? How much time is it going to take if you have very active competitors? These are the things that you need to consider. Some events are very straightforward and make it simple for you to earn back some of your tax money or more. Some events are, in my opinion, like a carrot being held in front of your nose. I've seen some events out there that you've had to get a global or a half of a certain amount. Not one ped over, not one ped less, but an exact number. And not only do they want you to get that exact number once, sometimes they want you to get it twice, 3 times, or even more throughout their event so that you can qualify to win a prize. Now, this prize is usually something decently valuable, so it entices you to go for it. However, these types of events are really geared to make the land area owner a lot of money without having to really spend a lot in the prizes awarded. Now, this is just my opinion. You may have had a different experience, but that's how I feel when I see those types of events. So you're going to have to decide for yourself what's right for you. I just know that I stay away from those types of events because they are just one big ped suck, unless you get extremely lucky. You also have to remember that sometimes the land area owners, when they design their events, they might not see any fatal flaws that might screw over getting a possible win in their land area until the event is ongoing. This happened to me in an event that I did. No, I'm not going to name the event because I don't feel like the land area owner meant to mislead, even though that's what happened. And ultimately, the land area owner is judge and jury on their own events and how they interpret their own rules. Don't get me wrong. Land areas can be very fun to compete on and to play on. I just want you to do them with your eyes wide open to the possible pitfalls that may await you. Number 9. Creating a passive income legally while playing Entropia Universe. You can do this by buying deeds or shares within the Entropia Universe. At the time of this recording, there are several deeds and shares that you can buy, starting with Calypso land deeds. They were the original and originally sold for 1,000 ped each. These days, though, they sell for usually way over 2,000 ped. Dividends are paid out once a week from the proceeds of the activity on Calypso, minus any activity in instances. It's my understanding that any activity in instances do not earn you any income off your CLDs. There's also Arcadia Underground deeds. These deeds started out at 50 ped apiece, so they were much more affordable to buy. Now they trade for around 70 ped, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less. Great thing about these deeds is that they pay out daily as long as there's been enough activity in the underground that day. There are also Arcadia Moon deeds that you can still buy on the Entropia web shop. These have been very slow to move as the activity on the Arcadia Moon is rather lacking, so there isn't a lot of people willing to invest heavily on these deeds, at least at the time of this recording. You can also buy Ancient Greece shares on the Entropia exchange. There are still many original shares still for sale at the starting price of 10 ped apiece. But before you rush out and buy some, it's important to note that their wave event on Ancient Greece does not count for any revenue off of these shares. And again, at the time of this recording, there is very little activity in the rest of Greece. So income is very slow to generate for this share, making it, in my opinion, a dud. I own about 400 of these and they make me very, very little money. I've gone weeks now without seeing any increases in dividends. So until I should be telling you to buy them so that they'll all sell so that I can sell them off. Because you also cannot sell off your shares until all of the original ones sell. But I honestly think that you should avoid buying any shares for Ancient Greece until either their activity picks up for the rest of Greece or the devs change the revenue share to include the wave event that they have there. Because that's really why any hunter is going to Greece for the wave event so that they can loot those armor pieces. There's also Crystal Palace shares, and Crystal Palace were the original shares that came off of the Entropia exchange. They originally sold for 10 pet apiece, and they are now, at the time of this recording, doubled in price to over 20 pet a share. Wow. Very popular, with steady income from this share. Payments for Crystal Palace shares get posted once a week, as do the ones from Greece, when and if you get any payments on those. So out of all the shares that I've listed, my two favorites are CLDs and CP shares. Though both are very high priced to buy right now, considering their original prices, so you may want to wait until the next big thing comes out to invest in, or you can take your chances with what's already available. The great thing about shares and deeds is it's a way for you to earn passive income in game. You can be asleep and earning money, you could take a vacation and earn money, you could take a break from the game, and as long as you own these shares or deeds, you're going to be earning money for the next time that you log in. So if you remember earlier on in the video, I talked about sweat and owning a shop. I know that there are also some sweaters out there that use their sweat income to buy shares. I've heard them talk about it. So what they do is they sweat enough until they have enough head to buy the deed or the share of their choice. And then they rinse and repeat, letting their tiny snowball grow bigger and bigger over time. This is also what I do with the profits that I make for my shops. I usually roll them into my deeds and shares, or as I like to call it, my rainy day fund. And while we are still on the topic of deeds, I want to make a side note and acknowledge that there are also several player-based investment funds in the game. These group funds have pooled their money together so that they can buy land areas, shops, etc. in the game. They sound really great in theory, and there was a time that I even had some investments in a bank fund. But the one thing that kept bothering me is in Entropia, all trades are final. And as trustworthy as a person seems, you just never know what could happen in the future. Even the most trustworthy person could have a heart attack or get hit by a bus. And if they were hit by a bus, I hope that they were wearing clean undies that day. Sorry. My mom used to always say to me, better be wearing clean undies. You never know when you're going to get run over by a bus. I think if I get run over by a bus, my undies are not going to be so clean. But getting back on topic, if someone that you've given hundreds or even thousands of real-life dollars suddenly disappears from game, good luck getting your money back. So if you want to invest, my opinion here is invest in one of the MindArc in-game deed or shares systems instead. I think you'd have better peace of mind that way. Entropia has been here for over 15 years, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon, so that's where I would put my investment dollars if you want to invest. I know that I've given you a lot of unfiltered and very raw advice in this video. There's not one way in this list that doesn't have a downside to it. But if you have the ambition and a positive attitude, the sky is the limit when trying to make money in Entropia. But if you have an idea or something that you have done to make money in the game and I haven't listed here, I would love to hear it in the comments section below. As always, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can get more of my videos as soon as a new one comes out. And remember, if you're gonna be bad, be good at it. Mwah. Bye! Hey everyone, thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell so that you never miss a new video or live stream from me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.